We got this 2012 Chevrolet Caprice PPV. Old police car, if you guys couldn't tell. But today we're gonna be doing a stall converter install on this thing, and we're gonna do headers and X-pipe. So you guys don't want to miss this. Stay tuned. Let's get into the video, guys. If you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I don't want to miss any of this future content, guys. I'm gonna try to keep this stuff coming at you. Sorry that the videos are slow uploading. I've got a lot of content that I just haven't uploaded. I need to get to it. I really need me some better editing software. But without further ado, let's get into the video, guys. All right, guys, this is a before. This is what it sounds like idling. You can't hardly hear it. I'll give it a couple revs. I think you hear more engine than anything. Let me set the camera back here. Alright, guys, so this is what it sounds like now. I'm gonna make a clip of what it sounds like after. Alright, guys, I'm gonna let it get a little dark on me, but got the car up on the rack. So first thing you're gonna want to do is pop the trunk and unhook the battery with the 10mm. You're gonna come up under here. We're gonna take these exhaust bolts off. They were 14mm and rusty, like literally. I only broke one, so not a big deal. We're putting headers on anyways. So there's also a bolt from the top, or well, a nut from the top on the front and back on both sides at the top for us to pull the cats. We got to unplug our O2 sensors. Got that one right there to still unplug. Stick this, let's see if I can unplug this thing. See if I can do it one-handed. Well, it's not wanting to come loose with that hand. Let me try this one. Wow. Clip is just not in good shape. Clip's just trying to break. But we gotta get it off. Okay, got that one unplugged. Only half of the clip broke off of that one. Part of it broke off. The whole one broke off on this one, like just junk plastic. But I was at Tom Up, put the O2 sensor extensions on them. It won't be a problem. These rear O2s are gonna get deleted, so I might as well unplug these as well. On both sides. Get those unplugged. Then we'll have our shift linkage to pull off, our trans line here to get it off. There's probably a bolt over here. Let's see, somewhere that's gonna be holding the trans line on the side. Let's see. Yeah, right here. There's a nut. Right. I'm getting a wide angle. Let's see. Nut right here to pull off of the trans line to give it some wiggle room. Be able to get it off and out the way. Basically down and out the way. We're going to pull these bolts out of the back of the transmission on the prop shaft. Basically gonna try to just slide this back to not have to pull it. I'm gonna pull these bolts out of the cross member here, these nuts off the bottom of the cross member, get it all out. I'm basically pointing everything out to you guys because I'm trying to prevent to have to show you like exactly every single thing to make it where this video is not just so long. But I just unplugged this little thing. You lift up on this lock, and then you just twist this and it comes out. There's a 10mm for the wiring harness here. Pop this wiring harness out. Sorry guys, didn't mean to end the video, but pop this one out like so. I guess I wasn't even holding anything. I thought it was. Anyways, so now we will get to pulling stuff out. So let me try to set the camera down over here and see if I can get some footage of pulling some stuff off for you guys. I know it's a little dark. I let it get dark outside. I had to go and get this trans jack and borrow it from a buddy of mine, because I don't do a lot of transmissions and stuff. But I'm gonna get me a trans jack. I really like this one, but obviously I'll eventually get one. So let's see, what kind of angle is that? I think you guys can see. This is only gonna be temporary for just a couple minutes while I get some of these bolts out. I'm not gonna be able to leave this here because this is on the trans jack. I'm using my phone. I'm gonna have to get me a GoPro, guys, so bear with me. But basically this is what I'm working with here. See what that lighting looks like. It looks decent. All right, let's see. Try to pull some of these bell housing bolts out. Alright. So I got one over here I'm gonna get. There's one bell housing bolt out. Pull this one out. Let's see. One's gonna stay over here. Pull this one right here out. Alright, so there's 3 bolts out. So now basically I'm gonna go ahead and, I don't know if you guys can see this, I'm gonna pop these rubbers off of here like so. That way they can hang down a little bit. I'm gonna put this trans jack up under here and support the transmission up. That way I can get this cross member out. So I'm gonna cut the video here and I'll cut it back on once I get this thing supported. All right guys, don't forget to pull out your exhaust manifold nuts from the top for your cats. Let's see if I can make this camera focus. Down there. See how there's a nut there? You can barely see it. There's a nut under where this swivel is too, but basically, you're gonna pull it out, just like so. I already broke it loose. Okay, I'm gonna... There we go. down here and grab the nut. Oh, it's kind of hot. Ouch. Got it though. All right, same thing. See how you can see the stud now? Same thing on the other side. So you gotta pull those two out. That way you can get your cat pipes down. And actually, honestly and truthfully, just to do the stall, you may could just leave these on. But we're doing headers anyways, so I'm gonna be pulling these off. Hopefully I don't have no issues with none of these rusty looking bolts. Really rusty. But anyways, so we're gonna pull the other nut off, and then the other ones on the other side. I'm not gonna video that because that's just gonna take some time. So basically I will update you guys whenever I get the trans supported on the transmission jack. So stay tuned. Yeah, so I decided that it only made sense to go ahead and pull the manifolds while I had it lowered down and stuff, just to get everything out of the way. But basically you've got your 13mm bolts. I've already got all of them out but one, but then you also have a dipstick right here that's got a 15mm bolt that fastens right here. You also got to pull your spark plug wires off without breaking the spark plug wires, so be careful with that, guys. But basically I just wanted to show y'all that that's what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and yank this one out real quick. My tool of choice I like using is a 13mm with a swivel ratchet head to break it loose and get it to where it's somewhat easier. And then I'll use my 1/4" snap-on ratchet with this socket on it. You see how rusted them bolts are. Terrible. But anyways, so the last bolt, I'm gonna get it out real quick, get this manifold set out. I'm gonna go over to the other side and get it out, and then we're gonna move on to getting the trans out of this thing, guys. So stay with me. We're back under the car. Got the cats out. Got the manifolds loose and ready to come out, like so. Get this one out. So now those are both out. So now we're gonna get this transmission supported with this transmission jack. So I can get it where I need it. Alright, now I already pulled these out right here. Pulled one out on each side. Just gotta, gotta pop these back loose. Oh, well, this would help if I had the right socket. One bolt. I'm gonna get this other one out. So now that's out of the way. Got that out. Now we've got 2 cross member bolts. There they go. And then we've got to now pull out these drive shaft bolts. And we're gonna do that with, these are actual T-handles. I mean, not T-handles, sorry. They're E-socket, but you can use a 14mm on it. It's the same size. as you can tell, fits on there tight. We're gonna use a wrench on the other side. Right size wrench. All right, so you're gonna hold this on this side like so, break this side loose, and repeat till you get the 3 out. We're gonna cut the camera on and get it back. I'll cut the camera off and get it back on in a second. Guys, so we got the 3 bolts out. Well, these 3 are still in, but these just go to this rubber grommet. These are the ones that goes to the back of the trans. I'm gonna get me a pry bar. Let's see if I can pry this rubber out. Let's see. Trying to get that up in there. I think I'm gonna have to set the camera down. Basically, we're gonna have to pry this off, and then we'll be able to tilt this transmission down. So, cut the camera on in a minute, guys. All right, guys. So you can see how I pried the drive shaft off. Now I can just tilt this down some, like that. Now that's all the way out of the way. And then we can tilt this down a little bit more. Actually, I'm gonna go back up a little bit. Stuck on this. Okay. Now, go down. All right, so now it's tilted downwards, and I'm gonna get to my bolts at the top, my top bell housing bolts. Also, I'm fixing to pull this transmission line out and get the starter out so I can pull the bell housing bolts out, or I mean the torque converter bolts, sorry. But yeah, so that's where we're at, guys. All right, guys, so to get your torque converter bolts out, I already got all mine out. You're gonna pull your starter out, 2 13 millimeters. You're gonna have 3 10 millimeters on your heat shield. Got a 13 millimeter on the back of the starter so you can get your nut off for your main wire. You can get your starter right out. Then once you get your starter out, I like using the same ratchet I was talking about earlier, 3/8 with the 15 on it to break it loose. And I use my 15 on my 1/4 inch ratchet to get it the rest of the way out. And I use my 1/2 inch drive with a 24 on the crank, turn it over to be able to get to all the bolts. So now, since I've got that done, I'm gonna lower this down just a smidge more. Like this is all it's gonna hang. I think that's about it. So I gotta get the rest of the bolts out from the top side. I don't know if I'll be able to get the camera up in there to see. I don't know how good y'all can see that. There's a bolt in the middle at the top. There's a bolt to the left, I believe. Yeah, bolt to the left. But yeah, there's a couple bolts up there. I'm gonna get those out. We'll get this transmission out of here, guys. All right, guys. We got all the bell housing bolts out. We basically just kind of wiggled it up out of there. So that's what we're looking at. So I'm gonna get this converter swapped out. That's probably gonna be all I'm gonna do today. So I'm not gonna swap the converter today, so I'll do it tomorrow. But tomorrow, swap the converter, get that thing put back in, and then I'll be looking into doing the headers. So sorry, got a lot on my mind. Anyways, So guys, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I don't know if this will be the end of this video. I may just make it all in one video, but that's it for today, guys. So thanks for watching. All right, guys, so it's the next day. I'm back. We're gonna get this factory converter out. Oh no, that was nasty. Oh, this one. Coming out. Anyways, we got our new FTI converter that we're gonna put in there. Oh. Shit. Get this out. Cut into this thing. There we go. Had to get this little cover off. It was kind of difficult to get off. So anyways, we're going to pre-fill. This was transmission fluid. Alright, so we're gonna get our transmission fluid and we're gonna pre-fill. Grab the phone. We're gonna pre-fill. Oh, made a mess. With some Dextron 6 fluid. You're gonna want to spin it a little bit, try to get the bubbles out. Maybe pick it up and tilt it to the side. Feel the bubbles are coming out. Just want to get a decent amount of fluid in here. It's not even a half a quart in there yet. And it went down some. Anyways, you guys probably can't see that good. I didn't turn my flash on. Anyways, we're gonna get some in there. Try to get it to go down one more time. I got about a half a quart in there. I'll just add the rest when I'm filling it. Set the camera back up here. It's weird. It's got, dang. It's got this groove that's just around the fucking, oops, sorry. It's around the snout of the port converter. So I don't know what that's about, but so I'm gonna stick this in here like so. Get this thing to stab in here. It's supposed to go in 3 clicks. There, I think it went in fully that time. I think that's all the way in. I'm gonna test it one more time. Pull it all the way out. We'll go. That's 1, 2. That seems like 1. So either that. Sounded like another one. Dang, inverter's so put me in. 2. Pretty sure that was 2. And then there went 3. Alright, one last time just for safe measurements, because this looks kind of just for safe measurements. My vape keeps going off in my pocket. Okay. Put this out the way. Alright, it's all the way out. So we got 1. That's 1. I heard a little click. I don't know if it's 1 or 2. Let's see. It's fucking me to go down more. can't get it in this time. I'm gonna pull my regulating in. I'm pretty sure I've been having it in. I'm just freaking paranoid about it. It's causing more work. Goodness. Oop, that went in some. What's that? I think that was 2. That's farther than it just was. And I think I got one more. Yep, there's 3. Y'all heard it. Now y'all heard that. And it's to the line of my finger. Cool. All right. So that's 3, guys. It's installed for sure. Definitely could tell, like, based off the tip of my finger, I was going all the way up to the base like that. And if you see, the line of my finger lines up perfectly with the bell housing. Whenever it first went in, my finger was about right here, say 1/3 of the way. That second click, it went halfway, or really probably about 2/3 of the way. But whenever it went to that last click, it went perfectly to that line. So that's how I was checking. It kind of works out perfectly for me. But I just paid a little more attention that last time. But it's definitely in there. So I'm not going to have to worry about that. Basically, I'm going to get this thing back installed up in there. I just wanted to show you guys installing this converter. It's a little lengthy video. It was being a pain at first, and then I was just kind of paranoid and being skeptical about it. So I just wanted to make sure it was in there correctly. But that's it. It's in there, guys. So I'm going to cut the camera off now, and I'll cut it on whenever I get this thing turned around and put back up in there and get a couple bolts in it. All right, stay tuned, guys. So we got the transmission back up in there. Got the transmission mount in, got those bolts tight, the bolts on the drive shaft tight, and got all the bell housing bolts tight. Still have to do the torque converter bolts. I'm gonna do those here in a minute. Hook this trans line up, but basically this is the progress. So after I get all that stuff ran, I'm going to get the headers fitted up after I lower this down and clean the mating surfaces. But yeah, I'm gonna set the headers in from the bottom, or try to anyways. I'm sure I can on this side, but it's gonna be a little tight over here with the steering rack, or with the steering shaft. So basically that's what we're working on. Guys, I'm trying to make this video as short as I can, that way I'm not boring any of you guys. But basically I just set the passenger side up from the bottom. It was easy peasy, no problem. Driver's side was a little more of a booger. I had to pop that steering shaft off right there. You can see how it's popped off right there. But anyways, pop that off. Once I pop that off, I get to slide this one right up in there, no problem. People think that you have to dent these things. I don't believe you do, because I mean, I don't have the bolts in it just yet, so we'll see here in a second. But I mean, it looks like it clears the old cooler just fine. So no need to delete it, I don't believe, but we're gonna see. So I'm gonna lower this down and get the bolts in it from the top, and I'll turn the camera back. All right, guys, so to do the connecting pipes, basically you're gonna cut right behind this pipe here. The same. Those extension pipes to go on here. And then we're gonna bolt them to these factory parts where we cut it. And that should be it. This thing was all mangled up already. But yeah, that should be it. So we're gonna see if that works, and I'm gonna update you guys. So I got the front part on, and on the hangers, I got the back part slid upwards on this pipe. It's the easiest way I found to do it. That way you can lift it up like so, and just kind of twist your pipe back out. to make it slide up on the first section of pipe in the front. All right, guys, are y'all ready for the first cold start with the headers and the converter install? The converter's not really going to change anything, but the headers will. Sounds like we got some type of rattling or something. I can't figure out what that is. Gee, you hear it loping a little bit back here? Hell, you hear that shit loping a little bit? Hold on. Set the camera down for y'all. Let y'all listen to that motherfucker breathe real quick. So I ain't playing, y'all, man. Cam coming next. Y'all just wait on it. Cam coming next.